All right, we got Josh Allen has to win a Super Bowl this year.
Speaking of these other teams in the AFC, we had a matchup between the Bills and Patriots. I was excited for this one. This was the matchup of the day. And Josh Allen.
So we got benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick. If that wasn't his rookie year, that was his second year. But he got benched for a love period.
Being down 21-0 leads the Bills to a comeback victory, and he tied Tom Brady and Russell Wilson for the second most win for a quarterback in their first 8 seasons in NFL history. Fellas, I know we just talked about Patrick Mahomes, but is Josh Allen the best quarterback in the NFL right now?
I got some important information for y'all. There's no better place to win cash.
Matthew Stafford.
It's good to be right.
Wait, before
Super Bowl is wide open for anybody this year. I agree with that. But my favorites right now is the Vikings. I said the Vikings. My bad, bro. I said Vikings because I know you're a Vikings fan. My favorite is the Rams and the Eagles for the NFC. The AFC, complete toss-up. But we'll see.
answer, is Pat included because he's hurt? Or how do you want to do this?
He's hurt.
So Pat's no.
Yep, Pat's gone.
Okay.
I'll say yes, Josh is the best quarterback in the NFL, and I will also say Josh Allen's game against the Patriots proves that Josh should win the Super Bowl this year. Why? When the Patriots went up 21-0, you want to know what Josh Allen did the next 5 drives? Touchdown, 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 punt, game over. Those were Josh Allen's next 5 drives after the Patriots went up 21-0. You do realize if the Patriots beat the Bills, Patriots clinch the division. So with Josh Allen's back against the wall, everything on the line, division on the line, I think they're in New England. He went touchdown, 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 game over. That is what makes Josh Allen better than everybody else. Because Drake May started the game off cooking. 2 rushing touchdowns. Didn't know what the hell's happening with Buffalo. Buffalo's DB's looking old, looking slow. Josh Allen couldn't figure it out. Then all of a sudden, Josh Allen, he starts running, he starts passing.
You said they downplay Cooks, like they don't use him. Is that what you mean? AFC, Broncos, Pats, or Bills. I think those are the favorites right now. I think those are the favorites. Yeah.
He does everything. It's Josh Allen and James Cook versus the world to me.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I always say this, though. I always thought it was Patrick Mahomes number 1, and I thought it was Josh Allen number 2. So if Pat's not in this, for sure, Josh.
Are you talking about James? Are you talking about James Cook or Brandon Cooks?
Josh Allen is the number 1 quarterback. I don't know about winning the Super Bowl this year just because they don't have enough talent, man. I watched too many times where defenses line up and say, you know what, we're going to play man on man, and they doing press man at that. Real disrespectful. And they can't.
If the Bills get matched up with the Texans in the playoffs, I don't know what they're gonna do. Can they beat the Texans? Maybe, but I don't think that's a good matchup for them. If the Broncos get matched up with the Texans in the playoffs, that's a toss-up. If the Patriots get matched up with the Texans in the playoffs, we haven't seen them play this year, but I think that's a toss-up. So I think I don't trust the Texans to go to the Super Bowl because of their offense, but I do trust them to beat any of those teams and knock one of them out in the playoffs. But I think Chargers could beat any of those teams as well, though. But Jags could too. I don't know. I think that I feel like the AFC is more of a toss-up. I feel more sure about the Eagles and the Rams. Like the NFC, they have 2 teams who I feel much more assurance in than anybody in the AFC. I don't feel any assurance with anybody in the AFC. I feel like everybody in the AFC playoffs can knock each other out. There's not one team that stands out at all.
get open. It's only
Josh
so
Allen
long where
number
he can just
4. Pat Lamar and Burrow are all better than Allen. I think that's fair to say. I think that's fair. That's a take where it's like to each his own, but that's fair.
put the cape on and
But as of right now, the best quarterback in the league right now is Matthew Stafford, in my opinion.
save the day, right? And James Cook is phenomenal. He's been playing great. But I truly feel like they need more help for Josh Allen. It's only so much one man could do.
True, but Shady, this year, I don't know if that's the case. Only because this. Bo Nix doesn't have that much help on offense. Drake May sure as hell ain't got that much help on offense. CJ Stroud, he ain't got that much help.
I'm not going to front. I think Broncos got pieces offensively. Do they use them to their full potential? Nah. And do they have a bunch of elite pieces on offense? No. I think the Patriots, again, you decide to play Diggs for a full game. Why they haven't at all this season, I don't know. Maybe they saving them to the playoffs. But if you decide to play Diggs for a full game, I think you're going to look real good. Kayshawn has looked really good this year as a number 2. He's had some number 1 type games. Hunter Henry is a good tight end. Travion Henderson, very good running back. Potential to be a very good running back, and he's playing very good when he gets the bulk of the carries. I think the Patriots got talent on offense. I think the Texans, in the receiving core, if you talk about their receivers and tight ends, the running back is questionable. But I think the Texans got a really nice receiving core. Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, the rookies that they got, Xavier Hutchinson. It's a nice receiving core. Dalton Schultz. But I don't think it's not like it's a bunch of bums out there on any of those teams. But I think that the biggest issue is like none of these teams have consistent play calling that makes these weapons look like they're really good.
On offense. So as you start to look at that AFC playoff picture, Justin Herbert, does he have any help on offense? You start to look at the playoff picture and you're like, wait a second. At least
Justin Herbert, I mean, realistically, that offense is not bad. Amarion Hampton and Kamani Vidal is a nice running back duo right now. Keenan Allen is good. Lab McConkey's good. QJ is good when needed. Trey Harris has been popping up, good when needed. The issue with all of these teams is can their play calling be consistent? The most consistent play calling out of all of these teams is the Patriots. They have the most consistent offensive play calling in terms of solid, like in terms of consistent production. But I don't think there's a lack of talent with any of these teams. No, they don't have a bunch of elite threats, but I think it just, we'll come down to it. It's just lack of talent. Broncos, they good. I think Evan Ingram is a good tight end. I think Troy Franklin has shown to make some really good plays this year. I think Cortland Sutton is a very good number 1. I think he needs to be treated like he's elite. They don't treat him like he's elite. I think they treat him like he's really good. But and that's not to say that he is elite, but I think you can get way more out of Cortland Sutton than that they get out of him. And Mims is cool. I'm not, I think the Broncos probably have the worst receiving core out of all of those teams, but that's not to say that they're. I'm not gonna say worst receiving core. I think offensive weapons out of all of those teams, they probably have the least in terms of like talent, but I don't think they're bad. But again, if I had to say like the best play calling that I trust the most, it'd be the Patriots. But all of them, I don't really trust all of their offensive play calling.
At least it's a fair fight. Don't none of y'all have help. What receiver does Lamar Jackson have if he ends up making it? What receiver does Aaron Rodgers have if he ends up making it? What receiver does Justin Herbert have if he ends up making it? What receiver?
The receiving core for the Chargers is not bad. Their play calling is just not that good, if I'm being honest. it doesn't complement the weapons that they have. If Sean McVay or Shanahan was running that offense, that would be a disgusting offense. If either one of them guys had Justin Herbert, Lad McConkey, Keenan Allen, QJ, Trey Harris, and again Kamani Vidal and Omarion Hampton, and Aronde Gadsden. Come on now. Pats, I don't trust with the lead. Broncos have the best O-line.
Even does Bo Nix have if he ends up making it? Like, it ain't like anybody sitting there with the top.
I think Courtland Sutton is really good, but I don't think Courtland Sutton is scaring anybody. But do I think Courtland Sutton can cook majority of the corners in his playoffs in the AFC right now? I think he could. It's not really too many that make me nervous, or like, to the point that, aside from the Texans corners and maybe Christian Gonzalez off top of the head, but it's not really too many that make me, think that he'll get completely wiped out of game or shut down. But it's not, again, it goes back to, it's not like they use him like a elite receiving target either. So
Top 5 receiver. Josh Allen, at least it's a fair fight. And if nobody has help, now CJ Stroud has Nico Collins, and he's a dude. I respect him better more than anybody. But at least it's a fair fight.
But hold on, you talking about they got number one receivers now. Aaron Rodgers has number one receiver. You just talked about
I respect DK Metcalf, but the Steelers do not treat. It's the same thing I just said with Courtland Sutton. The Steelers don't treat DK like that. The Steelers, it's been 10 plus weeks into the season, and they just had a game with him. What was that last week where they got him 10 plus targets for the first time all season? He got 10 plus targets, and he's been the number one all season. They don't utilize they don't treat their number one guy like a dog. You know what I mean? Like, they don't treat him like an alpha, like the guy. So, yeah, Steelers, they got a guy, but
all of them are cool. DK Metcalf is cool this year. He ain't been doing nothing crazy all year.
Yeah,
like,
he
cool.
I know, but he's a solid receiver.
Solid receiver, absolutely.
Who else you said over there?
Courtland Sutton, solid receiver.
So, right, these guys can beat man coverage. Okay, if I got to throw in the ball,
100%, 100%.
I would bet that they could make plays. I don't feel like that for the Bills. And you only talk about offense. What about defense?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Even on defense, they don't have no players. They got up so fast on the Bills, so that was like, whoa.
I know.
Yeah, so and I got a lot of friends over there, so I'm not going to bash them, but they don't have enough help on offense or defense. They don't. You got to have some guys going to make difference. They don't gotta make no difference. If you look at all the last Super Bowl winners, right? Like the Eagles, I mean, you could pick a guy that makes a difference.
Yeah.
We got so many of them. The year after that was, who was that?
Chiefs, yeah.
Pat,
Chiefs.
well, I mean, Kelsey.
Chris Jones.
Like they had, so
McDuffie Sneed.
when I watch the Bills, they don't have none of that. They got him and Josh Cook.
James Cook, yeah.
James Cook, sorry. Right, Josh and James. Anyway, they don't have enough over there. And I keep preaching that, and this how I know I'm not tripping. When I watch the games and I watch how the defense is guarding these receivers, they're basically saying, listen, our guys are better than your guys.
But let me say this.
Let's line it up.
Can I say this, Care Bear? Let me say this.
Go ahead.
I don't want to go here, but I think I have to now. It would be embarrassing and an utter shame if Josh Allen doesn't get to the Super Bowl this year.
With no.
Again, let's say they get matched up with the Texans, or even if they get matched up with the Broncos. That's gonna be tough, man. I mean, it's just the reality of it. I wouldn't really be embarrassed for the Bills. The optics of it make it look embarrassing because the Ravens might not make the playoffs, the Bengals didn't make the playoffs, and the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs. So, considering how the landscape of the AFC has looked over the past few years, Josh Allen, it's your time. But with context, the AFC has caught up to these four quarterbacks. As of right now, they're not. They are the best four quarterbacks in the AFC, but they're not the only legit threats to the NFC anymore. The The Broncos are established. The Texans are very close to being established. The Patriots are established. And the Colts next year will be established. And the Jaguars, it's to be determined with the Jags because I just don't trust that franchise. It's not that they have a terrible team or anything. I just don't trust the franchise. But the Jags might be established too. So the rest of the rest of the AFC is starting to catch up with them. So they're gonna make these 4 quarterbacks' life a lot harder over the next five years. So it's not going to be cakewalks no more. It's not going to be shoe-ins for all 4 of them. It's going to have to be some changes for sure.
Pat, he's showing the capability of beating these teams, though.
No Burrow.
Yeah.
Can't leave out Herbert. The Chargers are very close as well to being established. I don't know if I trust them as well, but they're very close.
Maybe no Lamar.
Yeah.
In what world can you be Josh Allen?
Yeah.
And somehow let a sophomore Bo Nix, a sophomore Drake May,
you know, it sound like that, but that pass rush for the Broncos just as good as that pass rush for the Texans, statistically. But you know what I mean. So if they get caught up and they get matched up with them, they might have to say goodbye.
A never won a playoff game, Justin Herbert. A junior won maybe 2 playoff games, C.J. Stroud. Go to a Super Bowl and you go home. It would be utterly embarrassing and the greatest disappointment. There is no Pat, there is no Joe, and there might not be Lamar. Those are your only peers.
So you basically saying if Josh Allen doesn't go to the Super Bowl this year.
Rolling, how you doing, man? Good to see you, big dog. Y'all folded? Hey. You win some, you lose some, man. Win some, you lose some.
This year is a disappointment for him.
Completely. Shady, imagine a world
where defense is bad.
Like, y'all know.
That's the problem.
And
yeah.
Y'all know boxing better than me, right? But like, if somebody just gives up the belt back in Tyson's heyday and you ain't got to fight Tyson, it's like, wait a second. You got to go get you a belt then, bruh. Sha'Carri Richardson in the 2021 Olympics when she got tested positive for weed. You ain't got to go be Sha'Carri? You better go get you a gold then.
Yeah.
Like, if you ain't got to beat Pat, Shady Wild. If you ain't got to beat Pat,
yes,
like,
sir.
You have to go. You have to at least go.
I think the expectation this year, and it's because of the game that we just saw today, he can beat these teams. You went on the road to Foxborough in a game in which they could have clinched the division, and you beat them.
The thing is, though, with the Patriots, their defense doesn't scare me. The Patriots have a good defense, but their defense don't scare me like the Texans and the Broncos defenses do. And the Broncos defense don't really scare me like that. No offense to them. But I know how lethal their pass rush is. So I think that's more of a problem for the Bills than the Patriots. See total defense. What the Patriots looking like. Houston and Denver both top 5. And the Chargers is number 2. So, I mean, hey. Chargers might, dang, New England is number 7? Wow. Interesting. And KC is number 8. KC got a top 10 defense this year. Let me see what the Patriots. Patriots are. Did I pass them up? New England 7. I'm tripping. Let me see what the sack numbers are looking like. Total sack numbers. I really don't think our defense is all that. I think it's a solid defense. I think it's a very solid defense, but it's not scary, Okay, our sack leaders, Broncos is up there. So the Chargers have more sacks than the Texans on the season. Now this is all contextual, because if you're playing worse O lines, it's all contextual. But this is all we can see. But So if the Bills get matched up with the Chargers could get us some problems. The Chargers have a better statistically. I don't think it's legit, but they have more sacks on the season than the Texans, and they're the number 2 defense. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be. It's not gonna be a. It's not an easy setup for the Bills this year.
And look, I understand their defense is struggling. That's why I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl. But I do think they're more than capable of making it to a Super Bowl because come playoff time, there's playoff risers and there are playoff fallers.
Yeah.
We don't know what the other guys in the AFC are. What we do know is when the playoffs get here, Josh Allen
is different.
Is a different beast.
Let me ask you a question.
Please do. Please do.
If the top 3 teams in the West would be Bills, the Broncos,
In the AFC.
AFC.
AFC,
Okay,
yeah.
And who else?
Bills, Broncos,
That's in the West,
Patriots.
and the Patriots. So
Yeah.
let's say the Broncos. I'll use them for example because you like to use Bo Nix. If Bo Nix plays bad, can the Broncos still win?
Probably. It would be difficult.
But decent run game, they got great defense.
Good defense, yeah. If they get some turnovers, probably.
And that's my thing is like, if Josh don't have a great
Henderson
game,
looked amazing. No, that's facts.
It comes to a point where
Henderson needs the bulk of the carries because knowing that he can just take a run to the crib like that, you want to increase the chances of that. So you want to keep giving him more touches. It don't make sense to keep taking the ball out of his hands, in my opinion. But I mean, like, if you don't want to overload him right now because you want to overload him for the playoffs, understandable. If you got Stephon Diggs limited right now because you want Stephon Diggs to play 100% of snaps in the playoffs, understandable. But if they're still doing this in the playoffs, that's extremely questionable. That's just gonna be very questionable. What's up, Ja? Yeah, crazy. If Josh Allen is a different beast in the playoffs, why hasn't he made a Super Bowl? Interesting. I got a bench Diggs next week. 5 points in each of the past 3 games. Interesting. Because defense sells him. I'm curious what they're gonna do with Diggs in the playoffs. How they gonna play that?
guys are just not getting open. So now I got to extend plays and I got to try to create, and that's when the turnovers happen. And it's like if he doesn't play well, they can't win on offense or defense. And a lot of these other teams, like even the Texans, if they play okay on offense, they still can win on defense.
Shady, that's on him though.
That's on who?
That
Bro. Let me hear him out.
would be on Josh. And let me tell you why. You have to perform come playoff time. You have to. You have to though.
That is the most general.
You have to though. Like if Patrick
more-
Mahomes, if Patrick Mahomes didn't play incredible football where he wasn't turning the ball over before the Super Bowl, and
I don't know how I feel about that because Mahomes getting blown out by the Eagles. Mahomes, when you see him running for his life, making crazy throws, versus the who was that? That was the Eagles, was it not? I can't remember. Who did they lose to in the Super Bowl? They lost to the Eagles. I feel like it was somebody else that they lost to. I could be wrong. I very much could be wrong. But Mahomes running for his life, playing against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. We gonna blame Mahomes for that? So like, I don't know how I feel about that. The Bucks, thank you. That's who it was. It was the Bucks. Mahomes running for his life against the Bucks. We gonna blame Mahomes for that loss? I'm not blaming Josh Allen if he. We're not blaming Josh Allen for what happened when they played the Texans. I can't do that.
what was it? 3 straight playoff runs, had no turnovers before the Super Bowl. If he didn't play at that level, they wouldn't be there.
That's not true though, because
That is true.
the last 2 seasons when the offense wasn't doing nothing, who was doing something?
Like I think you could nitpick and be like, oh, he could have did this on this play and this and that play, but like when you play in the elite defense, there's only so much you can do as an individual. You need better play calling. You need more weapons. You need more to offset what they have. If they are loaded on a defensive side, then you need either elite play calling, which I don't think the Bills have. I think at times they have very good play calling, and they have their games that may look elite, but I think they got very good play calling. But it's not they don't have elite enough talent to counter an elite defense.
Macho.
Defense went crazy.
Right.
Defense went crazy.
Right. So, because it's like when I say you don't believe me. So if he
said
said
he
he
showed
it's
Super Bowl.
against the Bills.
But remember against even the Texans last year, Pat at the end of the game did have to put the team on his back.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying
Yes,
is, Josh or Pat had help last year. Even when they played against the Ravens 2 years ago when they won the championship, when they went to Baltimore.
Yeah, their defense is crazy.
Pat came out shooting.
Time out. They had 14 points, right?
Yeah.
They hadn't scored another point all the way to the fourth quarter.
Finished the game with 17.
How is that even possible?
But
because the defense held them down.
But hold on for a minute. Because to your point, and to your point, that year Pat's offense wasn't great, and the Ravens have the number 2 defense in all of football.
Yeah.
But Pat scored first drive, second drive, and before Lamar Jackson blinked, he was like, "Wait, what?"
Was it a James Cook truther? Yeah, hey, that boy James Cook is nice, man. He a dog for sure.
I'm down 14-7.
He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't have a bad game.
I'm not talking about a turnover. I'm not even talking about turnover. I'm saying playing well because you say all that, but dog, you do know they ain't scored no more points
Agreed.
into the last quarter.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is a lot of these teams could survive because the defense is really, really good. They had
I
help.
agree.
So what I'm saying is like, I'm not making an excuse, but this is real football.
Yeah, I hear you.
And if you don't have no help on offense or defense, just because he's Josh Allen don't mean he's going to save the day. It don't work like that.
Let's zoom out for a moment, though.
Because I'm zoomed in.
Tom Brady won all the chips in the world. But a couple quarterbacks in the AFC was able to go take one or two. Joe Flacco said, 2012, let me get one. A decrepit Peyton Manning said, 2015, let me come get one. Phillip Rivers never got one. Ben Roethlisberger said in 2008 against the Cardinals, let me go get one. So
The thing is, you gotta set your quarterback up for success. In no world is a quarterback dragging a team to a Super Bowl. This doesn't happen every year. This does not happen. You cannot rely on your quarterback to drag you to a Super Bowl. You need to give him a very good defense. Because every year, both teams in the Super Bowl have a good defense. You need to give him a very good defense, or you need to give him multiple. I'm not gonna say or. You need to give him a very good defense, and you need to give him multiple weapons on offense. If you don't have both of those, you're not going to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, when they won their Super Bowls, they didn't really have crazy weapons on offense, aside from when they won with Tyreek Hill. They didn't really have crazy weapons on offense, but the play calling was good enough, and the defense was good enough. And you got Mahomes. But again, Mahomes didn't drag them there. The play calling was really good. They had some athletes, and then the defense was really good. They had a top 5 defense consistently. And every year that Brady won a Super Bowl, they had a top 5, at worst top 10 defense. So you have to, you can't expect the quarterback to just drag you to the Super Bowl. You have to construct an entire team.
the greats found ways in the midst of Tom Brady's 20-year reign in the AFC, I'm only talking about, to go get one. If Josh is a great, please don't let Bo Nix get one before you. Please don't let Drake May get one before you. Like, please don't. Don't end up looking like Phillip Rivers in all these years from now. Like that's so everything Shady. I'm not disagreeing with
be
anything.
like the equivalent of Joe Flacco going to get one.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with Shady. Obviously, winning a Super Bowl takes more than a quarterback.
I like Bo Nix more than Joe Flacco at the moment. You know, like trajectory wise, I like Bo more than Joe. But you know, to each his own.
But if you zoom out to 5 and you just look at
What about Jaden Daniels last year? For like the Commanders roster was really wasn't that good. I mean, something there was something missing. What it was, I don't know. But you know, I feel like everybody says the Commanders overachieved last year, and I think that's somewhat accurate. You know, how they what was their regular season record? How they made it that far in the playoffs, I don't know, but Commanders in 2024 they went 12-5. Wow. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how they did that good, but they did it. I think injuries ruined the Commanders this year. Yeah, for sure. But last year, I mean, the defense, if I'm not mistaken, that D line was pretty good last year. I think I don't recall their corners being all that, but the safeties was good last year. The running backs was playing good. I mean, you got Terry McLaurin. JD was playing like a veteran. So I think they had a lot of the pieces that was necessary to make it far in the playoffs. But again, winning a Super Bowl, I think you just need more. You need a lot more, and I think that's what separates the teams who go to the Super Bowls every year. They just have more. This is it. They played an injured Lions defense in the division round. Eckler showed. Kerry was hurt. Are you talking about this year? Eddie got hurt several times. Yeah.
At it now,
I can't
15
do
years
that.
later.
I wish I could do the fantasy. I can't do the fantasy football stuff. Even the dudes y'all talking about, the average quarterbacks, like Joe Flacco, he had a great postseason, but he did have a gangster defense that was holding everything down. Yeah. Did he not?
Not 2012, Shady. The defense was cool. Remember, Ray Lewis had the tricep. Remember, Shady?
That still was a good defense. Nah, you can't downplay that. That still was a good defense.
Bro, you don't change history. That was cool.
I played him that year, though.
He didn't. Joe Flacco didn't. Joe Flacco played good in that playoffs, but he didn't just straight up drag them to the Super Bowl by himself. That was still a good defense.
All right, we beat him that year.
The 2012 Ravens defense was cool.
2012.
They were cool.
They were good. They were good.
They were good. They were cool.
Good, bro.
I don't think Ed Reed was there. Ray.
If this is when they went to, Ed Reed was there. If this is who you're referring to, 2012. 2012 Ravens 10-6. This year they won a Super Bowl, right? Uh, 2012 Ravens. I don't want to get too off topic, but this made me curious of what that roster was looking like. Ed left after. Yeah, I remember Ed being there. I remember him being there for the chip. They had Joe Flacco, Ray Rice. Okay, so on defense, Haloti Nada, nice. What the heck? Pernell McPhee was nice. Albert McClellan, Terrell Suggs. Oh, so it's 2011. Let me go back. 2011. Haloti, Terrence Cody, Corey Redding, Terrell Suggs. I don't know much about McClain. The name sounds super familiar. Ray Lewis. Ladarius Webb was a good corner. Kerry Wilson, good corner. Bernard Pollard, good safety. Ed Reed, obviously, Hall of Fame safety. The secondary was nice. Front seven was nice. That was a good team.
Lewis wasn't
there.
We're
going to look it up. They were good.
They were good. They were good. But
what is the point that they're making? If you're talking about 2012.
All right, we beat them that year.
The 2012 Ravens defense was cool.
2012.
They were cool.
They were good. They were good. That year down. Yeah. Did he not?
Not 2012, Shane.
Even I wish I could do the fantasy. I can't do the fantasy football stuff. Even the dudes y'all talking about, the average quarterbacks, like Joe Flacco, he had a great postseason, but he did have a gangster defense that was holding everything down. Yeah. Did he not?
Not 2012, Shady. The defense was cool. Remember, Ray Lewis had the tricep. Remember, Shady?
Yeah, Ray Lewis had. So if he's talking about that, that's the 2011. It's 2011 to 2012. That was a good defense. That's a good defense.
You don't change history. That was
cool. I played him that year, though, right? We beat him that year.
The 2012 Ravens defense was cool.
2012.
They were cool.
They were good. They were good.
They were
good.
They were
They
cool.
were good,
I don't
bro.
think Ed Reed was there. Ray Lewis wasn't
We're
there.
gonna look it up. They were good.
They
were good.
They were good. But still, Joe Flacco.
They were help.
Joe Flacco.
They were help.
Let me finish. Joe Flacco had 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. If Josh Allen does that,
for them four,
yes, sir. If Josh Allen does that, the Bills will go to a Super Bowl.
I don't believe that. I'm not gonna lie, because the Bills don't have the Ravens defense. They don't have. Bro, I like Maxwell Harrison, but he been in, you know what I'm saying? He been getting worked here and there. Do I trust him to cover? Do I trust him to cover Cortland Sutton one-on-one in the playoffs? No. Do I trust him to cover Nico Collins one-on-one in the playoffs? No. Do I trust him to cover Stephon Diggs? If Stephon Diggs is on full go for the playoffs? No. Do I trust, you know what I mean? Like that secondary, the front seven, they're not what the Ravens were at all. They don't have a Haloti Ngata, they don't have an Ed Reed, they don't have a Bernard Pollard, they don't have a Ray Lewis. It's not the same. What's up, man? How we doing? They got Benford and Teron. I mean, they cool, but that's not what the Ravens had on defense. Is again, you need more. You need more. Straight up. I don't think the Bills. I don't think Josh Allen throwing 11 touchdowns and no picks is a guarantee that the Bills make it to a Super Bowl. I don't see that.
See, bro.
If Josh Allen has 11 touchdowns,
I just can't.
no
I just can't sit here and say like, yo, just because he's Josh Allen, he's supposed to do this and that and third. It don't work like that. It don't. Because the same way them guys are getting paid, he make all that money. So is the defense. And when I watch the way they guard the.
And again, there are 3 really good defenses in this playoffs that can give Josh Allen problems: the Chargers, the Texans, and the Broncos. If he matches up with any of them 3, and he could hit all 3, that would be tough. He could hit 2 out of 3. It's not likely to just bet on Josh Allen doing that, and then the defense is gonna have a good enough game.
Bills. That's why I talk like this, because it's like for Josh and them to be so he's such a great player, and then they had so much success in the Bills. Teams look forward to playing the Bills. Mm-hmm. They don't scare you. They got an awesome running back and a great quarterback, and that's it. And people can't wait to let them play him. If you don't believe me, watch the tape. You watch tape all day and night.
Yeah, the Texans can't wait.
Everybody can't wait to play the Bills.
Jags defense will give them problems. The Jags defense is a sleeper. Where's Jacksonville at? Oh, they're top 10. So Jacksonville defense is top 10. Now, their run defense is ranked number 1. Have the Jags played the Bills this year? Okay, so the Jags were. No, it's 2024. Okay, never mind. But they haven't played this year. The Jags defense is. I think they could potentially give them some problems. I think they can. It's not a guarantee, but I think they can.
Bills, because there's nothing that scares you. So, if y'all want to play this game because it's Josh Allen, cool. I'm a Josh fan. It's my boy, my friend. I want him the ball out. All I'm saying is that it's going to be hard as hell because he has to do every single thing.
Yeah.
We'll see, though.
He's got to be Superman, though. That's the reason why they're a 10-win team right now, though.
But that's the reason why
that's
he's
the standard.
But that's why he's MVP.
Yeah.
Like Shady said, we can't hold Caleb Williams to the same level we hold Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold Josh to the same level I hold Drake, Bo, Stroud.
Yeah.
Like, they have more help than you, Josh.
Yeah.
But you're better than them.
Yeah. He has to be Superman.
You have to be Superman.
No, bro. You need help. If you look at the track record of every quarterback that has won a Super Bowl, they have a good defense. If the Bills don't have a good defense, the odds of them winning a Super Bowl goes down. We're going to see good defenses in the Super Bowl. That's what we're gonna see. Where's Buffalo? Buffalo defense is 12. That's actually not bad. This is solid. It's above average. It's definitely it's you can somewhat significantly say it's above average. They right outside the top 10. That's not bad, but I don't know if I still don't know if I trust that defense to pull them to a Super Bowl. You know, realistically. You see, and that's in yards. Let me look at points. Scoring defense, points per game. That's in yards. Buffalo, they're 17th in points per game. Yeah, I just don't know, man. Denver is 3 in points per game. Look at Kansas City. Kansas City number 5. That's a good defense this year, man. New England is number 7. Jacksonville is 10. So Jacksonville is top 10 in both categories. It's pretty good. That's 2 significant categories.
He has to be Superman. And I'm not like to Shady's point though.
Does Drake may really have much more help than Josh Allen? I don't know. I wouldn't say much more, but I say he has more, but it's not a large gap. I do agree with you there. I think the defense is slightly better, and I think offensively they're slightly better. But I think Josh Allen just being the better quarterback kind of edges it out a little bit. And they got some experience on that team, so it kind of I think that's what makes them a bit more even. But it's not a huge gap in terms of talent. It's not huge, I'll say that. Miami took James Cook away, and look what happened. Jags definitely doing the same. Jags do got the number 1 run defense. So yeah, I mean, hey, if you could take James Cook away and you know that they're gonna pass and force them to pass, you could match up with the receivers playing man coverage. It's not a bad. It don't sound like a bad recipe. Drake has 4 good wide receivers. Allen, best wide receiver is Keon. Technically Khalil Shakir. Technically. Are you taking Kincaid over Hunter Henry? Based off of the season, though. But do I think Kincaid is potentially more talented? Yeah, but as of right now, Hunter Henry's been playing better this season.
I'm not going to punish him for that. If he does end up having a rough game, okay, cool. Like, you had to go put on that cape. It looks a whole lot better if he does go do it, though. If he does go out there and he wins a championship and he gets Buffalo their first Super Bowl in history, and he does it with little, like, he in my opinion, announces himself as one of the best players of this era. Like, just period. I think he's right. I think he's a top 5 player in this era.
A guy like Josh, right? Like, everybody's depending on him. Everybody. Coach, everybody. Yeah. And these other guys we keep talking about, the team don't depend on them the way they depend on Josh.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Nor should they.
Nor should they.
I'm not depending on both. You know what's crazy, though? I would go as far as to say Josh is in a lose situation.
There we go. Now we keep it. Come on now.
Josh gets to the Super Bowl. He better. Imagine Bo Nix beating Josh Allen in the playoffs. I don't even care if it's Nick Bonito, Hufanga, Trey Greenlaw. Imagine a world
will beat the.
But that's the casual take. Like looking at the optics of it, that's the casual take. Josh Allen gotta be about Bo Nix. But that's not the matchup. The matchup is Josh Allen and the Broncos defense. That's the matchup right there. And if the Giants can do it to the Broncos, do I think the Bills could do it to the Broncos? They might 33. If the Giants, no, I got that backwards. Never mind. Scratch what I just said. But I do think the Broncos are beatable. But I think I think the Bills are more beatable than the Broncos are.
Bills in the play. This is the problem.
Imagine a world where Justin Herbert gets his first playoff win against Josh Allen. Ain't nobody gonna stop talking about it.
He can't let that happen.
Josh is supposed to win these games. Now, Shady's right, as a real analyst who knows ball, but like, imagine Drake May beats Josh Allen in the playoffs. The great Josh Allen.
I mean, I don't know. Jalen Hurts beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Super Bowl.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
not the
I hear you.
Yeah, but at the same time, if Josh does get all the way to the bowl and win it, he gets praised for dragging a sorry team
It's one of the best
it's one
runs
of the
we've ever seen, and it's
correct.
amazing.
Yes.
I hope.
I
hope. But conversely, you could say, think about this for a moment. Conversely, we could say he beat Drake May in his second year. He beat Bo Nix in his second.
That's the hater take, though. You know, if Josh can beat them, knowing the situation, you know, that's it's applaudable. You know, we can applaud that. If Josh can take that team to the Super Bowl, that's applaudable. And honestly, the only way I see them even getting to the Super Bowl, that defense is going to have to. They're gonna have to tighten up, because I don't see the Bills all of a sudden becoming a mistake-free offense. They're going to turn the ball over in the offseason. They're going to play again, the Texans, the Broncos, the Chargers, and maybe even the Jags. So you're going to play 4 statistically good defenses. 4 top 10 defenses are in your playoff bracket. So there's not going to be turnover free football. So their defense is going to have to help them out.
Year he beat C.J. Stroud, and then he got there, and he, like, conversely, what people
to the
do.
casual, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But like you said, the people that know football, because you can't wig out and be like, oh my gosh, he lost to Drake May, he lost to Bo Nix. But then also when he beats them, then you're like, he beat Drake May.
Did you realize y'all can find yourself at the 3rd seed next week since Jags got Denver next week? That would be tough. And I can see Denver beating the Jags. But I mean, the Texans winning the division is crazy, considering how they started the season. But yeah, I mean, it is very much realistic. The Jags' remainder of schedule is harder than the Texans' remainder of schedule, for sure. The Jags could lose potentially at least 2 more games, potentially. We basically the Jets, but with the best quarterback. Interesting. If Texans and Bills play, I trust Allen more coming in the playoffs. I mean, but the Texans have knocked Josh Allen out the playoffs twice already in his career, and this is going to be the best Texans team that he's ever faced. Those teams weren't in terms of defense. This is going to be the best Texans team that he's ever faced, and I mean, it's safe to say that you know, safe to say it's better to trust Josh, but it's a team game. Look tired? Yeah, I'm tired. I'm ready to lay it down, but it's all good. Take me a nap in a little bit. We good though. To be fair, he was on bad Bills teams, but I mean, like, it's not like the team that they got right now is great. They're not bad for sure, but it's not going to be a cakewalk. I'll say that. Like, to say you trust Josh Allen more than C.J. Stroud is fair, but it's about trusting the Bills as a team over the Texans as a team. It's about trusting Sean McDermott as a coach over DeMeco Ryans as a coach. Because do I trust Josh Allen to pull his team to a victory over the Texans? It's possible. But based off of how they played them the first time, is that likely? I don't know.
This is also why I hate
you gotta
I'm a fan of Avengers movies.
This is also why.
Yeah. I actually just watched The Marvels the other day. I watched Captain America: Brave New World, and I watched Fantastic Four. And I watched I went on a little binge, and I got caught up with the MCU a little bit, and I watched the new Avengers. I can't think of the name they changed it to. But yeah, I rock with it. Do you trust the Texans? No, I don't trust the Texans. Of course not. I mean, the offense is not trustworthy, but I can say the same thing. You know, there are aspects about every team in the AFC that's not trustworthy. If I had to choose a defense that I trust the most in the entire AFC playoffs, I'm choosing the Texans defense. If I choose an offense I trust the most in the entire AFC playoffs, I'm choosing the Patriots offense. If I had to choose a QB I trust the most in the entire playoffs, I'm choosing Josh Allen. But there is no clear-cut team like that has everything that I trust the most. Everybody in the AFC has deficiencies. Everybody. Only teams that I feel like have minimal deficiencies, for the most part. I think the Patriots they got a little bit less. I don't trust them enough. But I will go to the NFC and say the Rams or the Eagles. I trust them the most out of any team in the NFL right now to get a chip. The trailer for Doomsday just came out. Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Lamar. I mean, technically they're not in the playoffs right now, but do I trust Lamar more than I trust Josh Allen right now going into the playoffs? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't think anyone in the AFC is really on the Rams or maybe even the Seahawks level. That's not far off. That's not far off. The Seahawks schedule. Have they competed with anybody in the AFC? Yeah. Seahawks, Packers, NFC, AFC, NFC, AFC. Oh, the Jags made it a close game. It's a one position game. Texans, this got out of hand, but the Texans offense was sorry this game. I'm not gonna lie. Offense was sorry. If the offense could clean it up, I think we would have a shot against the Seahawks, but that's a big if. And they barely beat the Colts. And the Texans beat the Colts. I wouldn't be mad at a potential do I think on the right day the Texans could beat the Seahawks? I do think so. I think so. But I think majority of that statement is fair. Seahawks almost lost to Rivers. Nobody's afraid of them. We gonna see. I do feel like the Seahawks had more hype earlier in the season than they do right now, but I still think I think they're a respectable football team. Seattle's just lacking in the run game. That's fair, but I think their play calling offensively, it's it was looking really good at one point, and it's starting to look a little basic right now. Now I could be wrong. I could be. It looks simple. I'll say that it looks simple. Like it's simple and it works against teams who aren't disciplined or aren't great defensively. But if it's a team that's good defensively, it's a chance it's not going to go as well. You know what I mean? I mean, have they played many good defenses this year? They played the 49ers. That's a good defense. One possession game. They played the Jags. Good defense, one possession game. The Texans. Now the Texans, the offense was selling, but not a one possession game, but it's taking it with a grain of salt. They played the Rams. They lost to the Rams. That's a good defense. And they barely beat the Colts, and that's a good defense. Now the Falcons, on paper, their corner's not good. Never mind. They front seven is good. I like their front seven, but their corner's not good. I'm not gonna call them a good defense, but they got a lot of potential. But I think the Seahawks, they do what they're supposed to do. You know, like when they play defenses that aren't great, they do what they're supposed to do. The NFC, you might can pick a team that you more so trust than the AFC. It's no clear team from there. That trust going to the Super Bowl. Like I said, for me, it's just the Rams and the Eagles. I I trust the Seahawks to be the third best team in the NFC, but I don't trust them. I don't trust them on the same level that I trust the Rams and the Eagles. Those would be my Super Bowl favorites right now, like NFC favorites. I'll say that. Terrell is nice. Terrell nice, but he didn't play good against JSN, and he just played bad against Mike Evans. He a good corner, but he's not I wouldn't like he a good corner. The Eagles have lost 3 in a row or 3 of their last 4. No, and that's 100% fair. But when it comes playoff time, I just trust them more because they weren't great last year offensively. I mean, Saquon had a really good season, but they still got it done in the playoffs. It was like, I mean, it's not like Smitty was going off last year. AJ Brown didn't go off last year. Jalen Hurts was not going off last year. It was just Saquon. Now I know the offense is worse this year, but they still was able to get back to the Super Bowl. So I mean, saying the Seahawks are fraudulent. I wouldn't go as far to call them frauds. I just they got to make me believe it. I got to see it to believe it with them. You know, they're gonna have to go to a Super Bowl. Is it, or knock off the Eagles or the Rams in the playoffs? Anybody else that they beat in the playoffs, I'm not really concerned. We'll see.